There are calls today for the government to do more to tackle child abuse. They've already announced a fresh inquiry into allegations of sexual abuse at children's homes in North Wales, historic allegations of abuse. But now there are calls for criminal investigations to be launched. And one of the people calling for that is Liz Davies, a social worker campaigner who blew the whistle on a similar scandal in the London Borough of Islington back in the 1990s. Liz, why do you think a fresh inquiry has been announced? Why is that not enough for you?
It's nowhere near enough. We're getting allegations coming in, historic abuse allegations, current allegations, all over the country in their thousands. And we must make sure that current children at risk are identified and protected. And that means a proactive child protection investigation, police and social workers in separate units across the country according to where these issues are arising, and nationally coordinated by a specialist team. I think there should also be a panel of expert advisors with credibility and integrity in this field that have respect from the survivors themselves, because they are the steer, really. They're the brave people who've come forward, and they come forward for themselves, but also they come forward because they don't want children now to be being abused.
What is clear, both then and now, is that children are just not listened to. Why do you think that so many in authority, that a lot of these children came to for help, didn't want to listen? Is it that we just want to block our ears to something because we find it so horrific?
Well, when you say we, well, there are professionals right across the board, trained and expert to deal with this very specialist, complex task. But sometimes when we investigate, we don't get heard. And I had that experience in the London Borough of Islington in the 90s. There were 13 inquiries, and there are still people out there who were highlighted as perpetrators in those inquiries who are still not being tracked and monitored. The Sex Offenders Act, which is the Sex Offender Register, didn't predate 1997. So a lot of historic abuse allegations are highly relevant and current now. The other thing is this government has brought in a revision document, so open to consultation, for our very basic procedures about how we investigate. And they've cut the document from 400 pages to just 60. And it eliminates completely all the guidance about investigating organised and institutional abuse. That has to be pulled immediately. Cameron should just say that that revision by the DfE should be withdrawn if he's going to show, credence to the people coming forward now.
You talk about institutional abuse. Do you think there are people higher up in a lot of these groups and a lot of institutions who are protecting these people who are carrying out the abuse?
I've worked for many years in this field, and I've come across so many cover-ups that I could be a week here talking about them. Abuse is abuse of power. Abuse of children is abuse of power, and that means people who are powerful in all respects, from the sports coach to the vicar to the teacher, right up the scale of people who have status in society. So the people investigating have to be highly skilled and very courageous as well, to hear the children, hear the adult survivors, because they can point us to perpetrators who've never been brought to justice, who are still out there in society and who pose a risk to children now.
Liz Davies, scary stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Environment Secretary, Owen Paterson, is due to chair a summit on ash dieback within the next hour. Well, the disease has been confirmed at 83 locations in England and Scotland so far.